Quorum being present, I hereby call the September 28th, October 28th meeting of the Wiscasset Planning Board order. First order of business is the minutes. The last meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes as written.
And seconded. Moved and seconded. Any errors, corrections, comments? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Thank you. First order is Seacoast Coffee. First order of business is Seacoast Coffee. Kathy.
Hi.
Kathy is back. We approved her. Okay.
I was gonna say, I'm back.
And she is going to do less, as she will explain to us in just a second, but she's eliminating the restaurant portion. And we do have in our file a copy from Maine DOT saying no further permitting is required.
So you would just like me to explain where we're headed? Okay. It was almost exactly 2 years ago to the day that I met with you, and you approved our plans to move our coffee roastery and then open a cafe and market at the Main Coast Chimney Building. Unfortunately, after we went through all of that process and got the funding and all from the bank, and everything was ready to go, the appraisal came back $250,000 short of what it was going to cost us to do the work on the building. So we walked away from the whole deal. We've taken our business in a little different direction now. We are, in addition to doing our roasting of our coffee, we're also cold brewing our coffee and selling cold brew. Have you all had cold brew coffee yet?
No.
We sell it in kegs and also in bag-in-the-box types of things. And it's for wholesale use. It can go into a kegerator. And it's basically just coffee on tap. So we need more space, and we went back to look at the building again because it makes sense. We need public water and to do what we're going to do. And I love the building, I love the spot, and so this is just a much smaller project. We'll just be renovating the whole outside of the building, making it look nice, repainting it, patching the roof, doing some landscaping, and then on the inside, it's basically going to be just 2 major areas. I think you all have the plans in front of you. So it'll be just an employee restroom, break room, and then the rest will be production and warehouse space.
No retail space at all.
Do you have any questions?
How many people do you think you'll employ?
We have 5 employees now, and I hope to add at least 1 when we move up here and expand our cold brew operation. We started the cold brew on a very limited basis this past summer, and we're using Fork Labs down in Portland. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's a shared commercial kitchen space, so you rent time. And so we wanted to see how it was going to go, and it seemed like something we wanted to do. So we decided we needed to move into bigger quarters.
Those are full-time jobs?
Pardon me?
Full-time jobs?
Full-time jobs,
Yeah.
yes.
And that just, not that it really matters, but is it brewed cold and then when it comes out of the kegerator, is it served cold still? Or is it
I'm
served
sorry,
cold?
yeah, you have to speak up. I have.
Sorry, the coffee's brewed cold and then
Yes.
sold wholesale. Is it served cold?
Yes.
Still served cold. Okay, I didn't know if
Yes.
there's a lot of changes in the coffee world.
So basically, all the brewing is all done in a walk-in, and cold brewing is done just by infusing the coffee into the water. So you basically take the ground coffee, you put it in the water, and you let it sit for about 16 hours, 12 to 16 hours, and then you keg it, and or put it in the boxes. But we've had to, we've had all that testing done through labs and all that through I'm not exactly sure the name of the lab, but it's, we have it tested for shelf life and all that good stuff.
This is
So-
something that you heat up later on?
Pardon me?
Is this something you drink cold or you heat it up later on?
No, you drink it cold.
Cold, okay.
What is the shelf life of coffee like that? Just
We just had it retested for 5 weeks.
Now, you'll sell regular coffee there too?
Yes,
Yeah.
we will be roasting. But our customers are all wholesale, so we'll be distributing. In other words, we will have shipments coming in. We get 18-wheeler shipments about 3 or 4 times a week. That's about it.
Whole
And then our-
beans?
Mhm.
Those are whole beans?
Yep, Yep, and then we just have vans that we would be loading and leaving from there.
So there's no retail to the public at this location?
No, pardon me?
There'll be no retail to the public at this
No
location?
retail to the public.
And all waste can go into the municipal sewer system?
I'm sorry.
All the waste, all byproduct, water, whatever, that can go into the municipal?
There's not a whole lot of wastewater. We can compost the coffee grounds, but we don't make a whole lot of waste right now. We have cardboard, we are very good at reusing what we can, and so we really don't, I don't think we'll be making much of a demand other than water on the system.
Thank you.
Entertain a motion?
I'd just like to introduce you, this is
Hi.
CJ Turner is our contractor from Alpine Contracting. So he will be doing the work.
So do you want
A motion to approve the project as modified?
to move to approve the project as modified?
I'll second.
Discussion?
I'd second it.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor? It's unanimous. And I have to ask, it was unanimous. Thank you, Kathy.
Okay, so is there
You can see the
anything?
code officer for any building permit.
I'm sorry?
You can see the code officer for any building permit.
Okay, will do. Do I understand you're going to be speaking about the property next door tonight?
Yes,
Is that next on your agenda?
third.
Or- okay. Maybe I think I'll stay and listen to that. Thank you.
All right. Other board members at this time, I'm going to recuse myself, step away, get my more presenters. Jason is our vice chairman.
All right, thanks, Carl. All right. So I believe Carl has informed me that
One chair.
it's, where's my pen? This is agenda item number 4, the Maplewood 970 LLC, with Carl Olson representing both of these gentlemen. And I believe there was, he said it, correct me if I'm wrong, Carl, that it's not shoreline resource protection, it's shoreline residential.
That is correct, yeah.
Shoreline
I made a
residential
mistake.
district.
I made a mistake when I was typing it out. And I only had 5 total copies of slightly revised showing a potential house lot, or a potential house, not a house lot. This is a little different. Our ordinance says we have to come to the planning board to build in a residential, shoreline residential zone. Doesn't say what format we have to use, whether it's a site plan or what, but so I have prepared this.
So this is the piece of land that you access from the end of the log road?
No, this Maplewood Park is right off Route 9, right off 27.
Okay.
It's a trailer park on the
So you get there through the trailer park, to the property?
Right next to it.
Oh, right next to it.
Access to this lot will be over the shaded road on the south or bottom side of the road.
There's an existing right of way.
front of me, I did not receive my copy. I don't know, is everything there that they need, the permitting and the abutters? What we got here?
Well, that's just it. There is no procedure for this in our
Oh, okay.
use ordinance.
That's it. Good. We're gonna have fun then.
If I may, my name is John Mann, I'm the land surveyor that is taking responsibility for the work here. And in your ordinance, Wiscasset ordinance, page 114 and 115, section B.2.1, it states that any residence in the residential shoreline zone needs planning board approval. But it
Okay.
doesn't state whether that goes through site plan review or what, it just says we need your approval. So we have put together a map that we think covers the information that you may need, but it's up to you to decide the procedure, I guess. So,
Yes, exactly. So we're proposing the Bowley line is 3.7 acre residential lot.
B.2.1, residential dwelling unit. Following a permit with permit from the planning board. Campgrounds, permit appears. The house is 75 feet away from the water, high water of the pond,
100.
100 feet.
Plus a little bit.
You've got access to the road, you have enough room on the lot for your septic field and your well, your fire, all that stuff, so it's really, all that is correct. Our problem is that we don't have any true guidance on what's correct.
It's up to you. It's up to you to establish it tonight.
We only have criteria on if you're gonna build something.
If to be approved for it, the planning board has to sign off for the building permit. The code officer would assume we still have to issue a building permit.
Right.
So we have to authorize the code enforcement officer to issue a building permit.
Make a motion to be authorized the code officer to issue a building permit. Is that what you mean?
I thought the planning board had issued it.
That's what the planning board has to do, basically. What format you're gonna do that, what you're gonna have for review criteria is not spelled out.
Okay, the one off the top of my head is this. I know we're far enough away. The wetlands are a wetland issue at all?
Wetlands are shown on the plan, and it's not an issue for this site.
For the site, we're far enough away from the perk test or whatever.
Perk tests have been done, a soil test by Mark Sensi Geologic,
That's great.
and soils are good for the septic system.
How big of a house is it that you want to build?
24 by 32.
Are we approving the building of the house or just the lot?
Proving that it can be built on the lot.
Okay.
That doesn't answer your question, yes or no?
Well, no, if we're approving a house, we have to know how far it is, what the setback is from the water.
It is beyond 100, well, where it's shown is slightly more than 100 feet from the high water mark.
So we got that.
And it's well beyond the 10-foot sideline requirement,
This is the water here, right?
or it says Gardner Pond.
Can I make a motion we approve the project?
You approve what?
I made a motion.
Did you approve the what?
Approve the project.
The project.
Yeah.
Is there any time that anybody remembers where this sort of thing came up in the past? And is there any precedent for this?
When we approve the creation of the lot?
You cannot approve the lot, you have to approve the building. The building permit can be issued. The lot does, satisfy our minimum lot standards.
Yeah, so we're actually approving this. We're
The issuance of
the
the building
creation of
permit.
a buildable lot. That
We're
Approving the issuance of a building permit by the code enforcement officer.
That's what I said before.
So you're a surveyor, and what exactly is your role in this? Just to help them?
Carol has done the field work for this project and is the most knowledgeable about what's on the ground. This is the owner.
Right,
So he's
yeah.
here to answer any questions, and I'm the one that's responsible for the work.
Oh, okay.
But to answer your question, we did a boundary survey, then we've added the contours and things.
Well, I just want to be sure we do it right, so that there's no troubles for you to get what you want, that's all I'm going for. just seems like this is, our problem is that there's a flaw in the ordinance, not in their intent or anything else that you want to do. Someone wants us to come back and, you know,
Well, if we approve the issuing of the building permit by the CEO, he's responsible for seeing that its setbacks are correct, and that there's septic and all that kind of stuff. I assume.
So a site walk
That's
for
right.
approval and all that's not necessary?
It's not true, we're not triggering a subdivision, and we're not creating it's a single lot, and there's nothing in the ordinance to indicate. It just says that we shall, the planning board shall approve the building permit. I'd be happy to take you down there.
It basically says a residential dwelling unit is permitted with planning board approval. So I guess perhaps the motion should be, you give permission for a residential unit on this lot.
well, that motion does stand right now, no one seconded the motion, so.
I'll second
No, you made it.
it. Oh, I made, no, I
You made the motion.
it.
Made the
I
motion.
made the other motion that I thought
Alright.
I made.
So we have a motion, do we have a second?
Tony moved to approve the project.
Right,
And I moved to give the code
The issuing of the
enforcement.
building
issue of
permit.
the
Yeah,
building
or the
permit.
code enforcement.
So, but we didn't follow through on it, so.
Right.
It wasn't
okay, so your
seconded.
motion has not been seconded, so that is laying on the table.
Okay. Can I amend your motion?
You actually made the right
The
motion.
first motion, but then we didn't call for second or discussion.
Why don't you
Yeah.
take back your motion
I
and
made
start
a
all over?
motion, yeah.
Is this a one-story house?
One story? Yeah.
I think we're all trying to get to the same place, we're just trying to do it right. That's all that's happening.
So, upon your advice, I'm going to make a motion that we direct the code enforcement
Right.
officer
That's
to
right, that's
give a
what I
building
meant.
permit for this
Yeah.
project.
That's what I meant myself, so that's
You
good.
did.
Yeah, I didn't say it that way, but.
And nobody sees any reason why there's any trouble with that. I don't see any reason why that
We
it
need
shouldn't
a
be like
second
that.
first. and-
I'll second it.
Okay.
So we've got a motion, we have a second, all in favor? Have fun. Thank you. I think that's all we can do there.
Next time you can say, how did you do that last time?
Yeah.
You just set precedent.
All right, cool. That's a great spot, I'll go that. Great pond.
All right, let the minutes show that I'm resumed sharing. All right, next order of business is site plan for brewery
Hey,
and tasting room 568 Apple. That's your,
use your map.
I'm proposing that I'm utilizing an existing building on 568 Bath Road, which used to be the old Naked Leather building. I would be brewing beer and having a tasting room. The two are separated by a firewall that extends from the ceiling to the floor. I wouldn't be I wouldn't be doing any modifications to the building whatsoever. Just repairs, regular maintenance. I've had the facility looked over through a structural engineer. I have the results of it. Nothing is needed beyond some structural adjustments the adjustments are sufficient as is right now, but he had made suggestions to make the structure more secure than it is. All of it meets current IBC codes, and I've been talking to the DEP about the processes of sewage. There would be very little waste in terms of the brewing process. If any, spent grains would be reused to feed cattle or livestock, and no wastewater beyond cleaning. That is an ongoing coordination with the DEP and myself. So I guess I'm just applying for a change of use for the building to a brewery and a tasting room.
What was it?
A brewery and a tasting room.
Oh, 4.
Yeah.
You mentioned, I'm trying to find it, I remember reading it. The standard, three-letter acronym, I can't remember what it was, something, TTV.
Oh, TTV?
TTV, what
Yeah,
is that?
Tobacco and alcohol. I forget what the acronym stands for, but it's the Bureau of Tobacco and something.
Federal Bureau?
Yes.
Why do you need, just out of curiosity, why do you need a firewall between the explosions of the, anything flammable in the process?
No, it's just more of a security thing. They don't want people going into the brewery unattended, essentially. It's just a way to secure the two facilities.
They can't walk from the brewery to the brewery.
Right.
To the tanks.
Yeah, and there's no fire whatsoever. We're using electric heating coils. And that's pretty much it.
Guys, something like that.
Yep.
Could that acronym, the ATF, alcohol tobacco requirements,
The
or is it a subgroup?
the federal uses TTB. I don't know off the top of my head.
What happens to the beer after you brew it? Is it bottled or canned or just all sent to the tasting room?
Well, after we brew the beer, so when we extract the sugars from the grains and add the preservation of hops, that's moved into a fermenting tank where the yeast converts the sugars into alcohol, and then it goes into a tank that's taxed by the state, called it's taxed by the state, and then that goes, the bright tank is what it's called. And then the bright tank measures the level of alcohol that we have, and then that's either bottled or kegged, and that's what's put into the tasting room.
Are you bottling it there?
Yes. We're having, we're bottling and probably hiring out from another company to come and can our beer.
So will they take the beer elsewhere to can it? How does that work?
It's a portable unit. They bring a assembly line and some machinery with sterilized cans, and they take a bright tank, connect a hose to it, and then they mix the CO2 with the beer in the tank, in a can, and you cap it.
In their truck or something?
It's a portable unit, yeah. It's a
And then it has to go to Pine State, is that what happens to it next?
no, we're self-distributing, so that way we can sell our beer ourselves and distribute ourselves. So we'll have to hire a crew to distribute our beer as well.
The only reason I asked is I had heard from distillers, 2 different distillers in the past, that they were upset that their products had to be sold through, is it Pine Tree or Pine State, who put basically a tax on it and then would bring it back to them. So I just wondered if that was still the case.
It's different from, we don't distill our beer, we're ferment it. So it's
Oh, it's a distillery, okay.
it's a different process.
All right.
Excuse me, could I just ask what the acronym was that you used?
TTV?
TTV?
I remember seeing it, I haven't found it.
Okay, so then you've got a bunch of cans of beer.
Mhm.
That's all part of the process, you can keep them there?
Yep.
In a different building or in the same building? You have a storage building?
Same building.
All in the same, in one building, all this is in that one building?
All of our products are out of public view, so it's not accessible by public unless we're doing a tour of some sort.
Right.
Yeah.
When both these trucks come in, off of Route 1, property from one exit, pulling in the driveway to the other one, is that gonna be wide enough, or gonna be interference?
I shouldn't interfere. I mean, the driveway, the entrance itself is 25 feet, and it flows pretty well with the flow of traffic going northbound. Southbound, it's like trying to get out anything.
Yeah, tractor trailers down
No tractor trailers.
there, keep straight over.
I think the biggest thing would be a cargo, like a U-Haul size truck. But we wouldn't have any tractor trailers. We're not that big yet.
So the TTB stands for the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau.
Say that again, please?
It's the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau, otherwise known as TTB.
Tax and Trade Bureau.
Your plan shows 3 buildings, 2 of which are labeled. It's not clear if you're using one or more of the buildings that you're talking about.
Nope, just using the one building of,
The rectangular building?
yes.
If we find the application incomplete, I suggest that you label that.
Of course. Yeah, I think it's on map A. It's in the back, very last. I think it's a addition. That's the zoning. It's in the back cover. Yep. And that has the brew pub labeled there.
And we've also gone to the format of signing the plan as a sign of approval, so
Right.
we're into the signature block.
Of course.
Can I ask some questions? Am I allowed?
Certainly.
I own Wiscasset Woods Lodge, which is the property next door. And I guess one of my concerns is what time the tasting room closes. Are we gonna have people that could potentially come out and disturb our own guests?
Hard to, I would doubt that. I don't see us staying open too late, considering we're just a tasting room.
What are the state laws governing tasting rooms as far as the hours go?
None really. Most of the tasting rooms that I've been to were open till 12 standard.
Midnight?
Yes.
I mean, the concern of mine is that currently from your other property, we already have noise issues with fireworks and guns being shot off. So I have a concern that if there's a bunch of people who've been drinking without food for many hours and then wandering around next to the hotel, it's a concern of mine because we already are dealing with noise issues?
Right, everybody in the facility will be required to take a TIPS program, which is a program that's designated to mitigate any overconsumption of alcohol and the processes to deal with those things as well. So our servers will be trained in order to determine who's been drinking too much, how to cut them off, and what to do if somebody consumes too much.
Understood, but I know from people who've stayed at your hotel that when your bar there lets out, that it's pretty noisy, and that would be the same training that those people have gone through.
I don't know hotel, nor a owner.
You own,
Father. His father, right?
Yes.
right, the one that your father owns. I mean, it would be the
But
same
are you
training.
saying you heard, because that's speculation.
Oh, well, I've had guests come to our hotel and talk about the noise, and so that's just my concern, is if there's a noise with another bar in town next to a hotel, is there gonna be issues with another bar in town next to our hotel, is my concern. Especially if it lets out late at night, when the guests have already gone to bed.
Can I have your name and the,
Sandra Nepperud.
what is last name?
Nepperud,
And you own what?
Wiscasset Woods Lodge.
Oh,
May I ask a question? Are you going to have food trucks coming in?
Yes.
Good question. As for just clarification, the select board would be the ones issuing the liquor permit. You can approve the establishment of a facility,
Of a
but
building.
they would actually issue the liquor permit.
Okay.
That's it. So,
Just a thought, it might be good for your business if there was.
I'm not saying I'm not
Just
against
saying,
it,
I heard.
but it would be nice to know that there's some sort of, that it would be an issue as well.
I haven't made my usual list. The deficiencies at the moment I see, I mentioned, but not clear which building. You're gonna have to prove that you have sufficient parking for the number of patrons that the restaurant will seat. You need to add 2-foot contours to the property. This plan, not a separate sheet. If there are any buildings within, I think it's 100 feet, that have to be the ordinance, they need to be shown on this plan, not on a separate sheet. So that includes across the road, but I think you say it there.
So on the boundary survey, you said?
No, it's a site plan, we gotta modify this to be a site plan. It says site plan. So you need to have 2-foot contours, you need to have buildings, if there are any within 100, whatever the ordinance is, I think it's 100. If there aren't any, it needs to state that. It should state on the plan that it's not a flood zone, according to the FEMA numbers that are on the sheet.
Well, I have the supporting.
Yeah, we have that, but I know, because when it boils down to, this is going to be the primary document people are going to look at. You're definitely gonna, like I said, you're gonna have to show that there is parking space for how many seats, tables, tasting room?
No, I think the ordinance requires, what, 10, maybe less.
And it varies on the size of your restaurant, but
The building itself is only a 20 by 60, and the space that's being occupied in terms of the brewery is a 20 by 22.
there is parking space for every employee
Mhm.
and a car space for every chair, as far as I know.
A car space for
Yeah,
everyone.
and that-
yeah, it's 102 seats.
That's what I thought.
I've never heard of that.
I'd have to go back and read what our ordinance says, but
Parking space for every chair and bench.
Well,
well, then there'll be a formula for,
Probably needed this onto that, right?
pardon?
This parking map needs to be part of that.
Yeah, it needs to be part of that.
right. I understand that, yeah, and I'm more than willing to abide by
And
that.
that looks like,
And
if
in
that's
the,
remotely accurate.
on the site plan review standards,
I can say from here that
Parking layout
the left side
design.
of that sheet wouldn't make it because there's no flow around that traffic. I know.
no flow around.
See how those lines come out to the edge of the grass or whatever? As indicated by the driveway, there's a non-driving service adjacent to the road,
Oh, I see.
and it has to be a clear passage. The ability of a car to back out into the travel, Route 1, when I say travel way, but into the driveway or whatever without blocking everything up.
Well, on the ordinances, the parking layout and design, Article 8, it has it's on the supported documents as well. It gives you the SKU number, width, and all that
Yeah.
specifics. And it says that the minimum standards is, I believe it was 8 in the ordinances.
I can't even see my pants sitting here.
What page you on, Chris?
I have it in the handout. It just gives you the parking stalls and. But let me actually get into the site plan review. Parking.
Parking stall skew, 90 degrees, 60, 45, or 30.
Yep.
9-foot stalls, 18 feet long,
Yep.
24 foot.
I mean, this is all existing. This is all existing. I mean, it's all laid out there. I'm not making any changes to that. This has all been approved before, prior to me having obtained the property. I'm just kind of re-emphasizing it.
You're doing a change of use, and any permit issued for that property was dated back to before you and expired.
Well, it's a non-conforming lot.
But that would, even if you were to refer to area now has to be, as you come in and do something new, it has to be brought up to meet the requirements. We're not saying you have to pay for this, I'm just saying you have to possibly redesign your gravel drive and parking area to meet the demand of the new thing. What are you gonna do with the other buildings?
Right now, just repairing and maintaining. I'll just, as of right now, I'm just storing materials that was left behind in that old building into there, so it's not gonna be used.
Storage warehouse.
The building itself is on town water and town sewer. CMP services it.
Yeah, considering, I know brewing doesn't produce much, and it's just not an issue to go to the water department, but I need emails from both the water department and the sewer people saying, no problem, and they do it by email. We also need clearance again from the main DOT. But you don't need to change your permit.
May I ask another question?
Yes, ma'am.
What is going to be done with the other building, the house?
An opponent at the moment, we use as a warehouse or storage.
So the house is going to be, the one that was a house,
Mhm.
is going to be storage?
Yeah.
Do you have any plans to landscape and fix up the area?
Oh, yeah. Right now, I'm trying to get the use of the building to be changed to be approved for a brewing and tasting room. And then the landscaping features will come afterwards.
Because we're going to be your new neighbor on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully.
What is the entrance on that?
The entrance is the southern part of the property. That's that very first entrance on the right there. I expect the flow of traffic just to be one way. And that makes it a lot easier to get into the building and out of the property without causing too much conflict with traffic itself. So when you go northbound, and when you go northbound anywhere, in Wiscasset, it makes it difficult.
You also need to,
Should anyway.
as notice, we don't see the, you see utility poles on the street, but not where the line
Hey, folks.
buildings.
Sure.
You guys are talking very loud over there.
You'll need to have the utility lines servicing over the property, you see poles, but not where the wires go to the buildings.
Okay.
I don't see, as, I think a way to do this definitively sitting here, but I don't see that we say how many seats. I know Edstrom is one parking space for 2 seats.
Yeah.
Fallback, whatever, to me would be whatever main DOT, which is uses a federal highway guideline. But you just have to document it as a reasonable number of parking spaces. So you will need to put down that you're gonna have X, whatever X is, and also mathematically, chairs and seats, and that the so-and-so code says to allow this many parking spaces, and then show that you do not have to pay, no, you don't have to pay, but you do have to show us that, a parking area that can accommodate those 9 by 18-foot stalls with a close to whatever it is, width passageway, and since it's 2-way, I think it's 24 feet. Guidelines, better left obey that.
Yep, and measurements say that it does, especially with, I know it's not perfect, but that map of document A shows that the span is 40 feet with an 18 length parking spot, gives you ample space.
Yeah, I'm just saying I have to add it to the plan, and again, we're moving approval.
Yeah.
I believe there's a stream on the inside, in the right-hand side of the property. That may have a setback on it, probably doesn't infringe on your property, but we need to know that. We need to see the setback lines. Municipal setback lines, which are 10 feet side and rear, and I'd have to look up again.
But that's an existing building anyway.
It doesn't matter, we need to see the setback lines, and then if it's an existing building of record, and if that's a problem, and it's existing building of record, then we can deal with that.
Did you just have a roof cut off on that?
I'm sorry?
Did you just have a roof cut off on that?
Did I just have a roof?
Wood.
What?
Skidder in that cutting wood?
A skidder?
Down back.
I didn't personally know.
Your magnetic north is, your surveyor's magnetic north is for plan reference 1, but there is no plan reference 1 on the drawing.
I mean, I guess, sorry.
You want to add the street address to the title block that it's at. Where are we at, 5 something?
568?
558 back road.
68.
So he needs boundaries, title block.
And he's got the boundaries, but he needs he needs to add the plan reference that isn't on there, and needs contours, setback lines. This curious line right in the, oh, I see what it is, okay.
Well, that's right. Discussing trucks or something, well, trucks.
Parking, I'm gonna need parking down, trucks are in the service now.
What kind
You said not 18 years, you indicated this is some sort of self-contained processing system that comes in and cans for you. And it's not a trailer, an 18-wheeler trailer?
Nope. It's a truck, a 4x4 truck, 1500, I think. It's not a very big, it's not a big process. It's an automated assembly line.
Anybody else have any comments? Does anybody see that this is a completed application?
Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like it.
Did you inform the butters?
I did.
And you'll need, did you keep any way of, did you people receive a notice in some format?
I did.
Well, we don't own the
You
property
don't own
yet,
the property
so.
yet. Okay, it doesn't say, did you keep any format of proving that you did that? So
I did.
Please submit that as part of your addendum. Everybody, please keep these folders. I'm going to ask them to reproduce pages that they already have. Yeah. Who wants to go on the sidewalk?
I'll go.
Doesn't sound like there has to be any staking done.
When is it gonna be, when's the sidewalk gonna
That's up to the people who are gonna go.
be? Yeah,
So,
Wednesday I can't do it.
they said, no, if you'd like to do this sidewalk, you volunteered for it, and thus became the leader.
What's that?
You volunteered, when would you like to do this? You just became the fearless leader.
All right, when do you want to do it? As soon as possible, I assume.
Well,
Well, within reason.
yeah,
Within reason,
we're, the next planning board meeting is, well, the next ORC meeting is the 25th, because we voted not to meet on Veterans Day. And I assume it's another order of business, the planning board will follow suit, but it's not guaranteed.
Well,
So, you have that extra time if you want to do the site.
nobody else wants to go, then we have to have more than one person.
Yeah, but great.
3 people. I'm pretty flexible, so if anybody has any input on the date and time, who wants to go?
Did you want to go except on Wednesday?
I can do any day but Wednesday.
And every week, you mean, Wednesday, or this one?
Any week.
Every week.
Say Wednesday.
I can do any other day than that.
Right. Maybe like Friday morning?
Yeah.
Friday morning, what time is it?
9 o'clock?
Yeah, 9 o'clock this Friday, which is the first,
yeah, we can make that work.
All Saints
We
Day,
have two, who's the third?
Day of the Dead.
You're not actually here, Steve, can you do it?
I'm gonna be working.
I know you're working. Friday, I'll try, I'm guaranteed. Not next Friday.
Friday night. We'll do it. Oh,
And then we got 3.
yep. We got 3.
Do you have any questions, Kristen?
Is there a way? I mean, it seems pretty straightforward. Just have everything that I need onto the survey itself. Is there any additional information that you need from me?
Well, you will get the okays from the sewer and water district.
The stream needs to be on the map, parking on the
If
map.
the stream is such that it would have an impact on setback on property, yes.
Signature block on the map.
It needs a signature approval block.
Signature approval block. I couldn't fold it either. I tried.
All right, any questions? You're all set?
Great.
Fine. Next order of business is a select decision on Veterans Day meeting. As I said, I will not be available. Do you want to meet on Veterans Day or that?
Forgive me, but I don't.
Motion, please, from somebody, whether they have it or not.
You won't be here. Make a motion, we do have a meeting on November 11th.
Monday. Veterans Day.
If we have, then of course that hinges on having, no, you're not gonna be here.
No second.
No second, all right. We're not.
I move we skip the November 11th meeting.
All right,
Oh, second.
okay. All right, that's fine.
It passed.
No, it's fine, no.
Does anybody else have any business to bring before us? I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
When did you schedule the next meeting?
25th.
Friday at 9, Chris.
Yep.